Hello and welcome to another episode of Pause for Payments. I'm Christy Duncan. I'm so excited to have with me here today Karishma Panda, who is manager at PwC. Karishma is based in London in the UK. Welcome, Karishma.
Thank you very much, Christy. An absolute pleasure to be here. Absolute pleasure.
Indeed. So Karishma is a payment subject matter expert and has co-authored several thought leadership pieces on global payments. She's also a recent winner of the Women in Payments Rising Star Award. So congratulations on that, Karishma.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's absolutely a privilege. And like I, keep telling my mentors also is that, recognition like these, like really bring a lot of empowerment. So yeah, feels amazing. Thank you very much.
Well, that's a perfect segue into what I want to talk to you about today is the power of recognition and mentorship in building successful careers. So let's get started. Krishna, let's start by talking about your career journey and your role at PwC and how you got to where you are. Can you tell us about that career journey?
Absolutely. I think I've had like quite an interesting ride, and the reason I say that is because um, I'm always a curious child. I've always been a curious child. Coming from a fairly liberal family back in India, and the youngest child at home, I was always like, given the feathers to fly in whichever direction I wanted to fly. So if we really, and this is a really good topic, when we talk about recognition and mentorship, I think it started for me like very early in life. And I did my engineering, and I was very sure that, I want to sort of make a difference in something, when I started my career, when I just finished my engineering back in 2008, I guess. And I didn't know which direction I'll be going in, but my first job was with Atos, a technology firm, wherein I started working as a software engineer. And that's when sort of I realized, like, do I want to know more about, functional spaces? And my first client was Amex. So my career journey started with payments, like right from my first project, right? So I got quite interested, like, in this space. And then I took up a business analyst job with a major bank in India, wherein I got to understand, the technical aspects of payments infrastructure, the compliance and the interaction between systems and platforms. So that sort of, gave me a lot of exposure to understand the technical aspects of payments. Then I was like, is it really enough? Do I want to know more? Do I want to do something more? And I was like, yes, I want to go behind the product. I want to understand the strategy, the brain behind any product that gets launched, be it Visa, be it MasterCard, be it any card scheme for that matter. So I thought, let's pursue, my master's, and that led to me pursuing my master's here in the UK at Cranfield University, wherein I specialized in strategy and product development. And my first job after my master's, I got a couple of calls. I remember, back then from a major telecom company, but I was very sure, I want to do something very specific in payments. And I went back to India after my master's, and I got a call from this firm called National Payments Corporation of India, that is backed by the Reserve Bank of India, which is a central bank in India, to work as a product manager for their card scheme that they had just launched called RuPay, right? And RuPay, as I knew back then, was a competitor to MasterCard and Visa, and it was an amazing experience for me to literally look at the product from inception to literally going through that entire cycle of what it really means for the customers, right? How are we going to appeal to the customers, and then going back to understand what does the ecosystem look like in terms of stakeholders, right? What sort of conversations are we going to have with the merchants or acquirers or whatever. So that role sort of gave me the confidence, and I was like, sure, yes, payments it is for me in terms of career. But then I was like I said, always very curious. And I remember when I was doing this role as a product manager, this product, RuPay, was a non-profit product. So it was the major challenge for us to launch the product was to basically convince, a lot of the participant banks to sort of get on board with the product. And I got an opportunity to sort of, host a huge workshop filled with bankers to sort of convince them what are the USPs, of the product, RuPay, right? And I then had a conversation with one of our risk head back then, who was from a big four, like ex consulting firm, and she was like, "Do you want to explore your career in consulting? Have you ever thought about it?" And I said, "You know what? I have always sort of believed in my present. I look at where I am today, and I just try and make the best use of it. So yes, I haven't thought about having a career in consulting, but maybe if I get an exciting opportunity, why not?" And then I got an opportunity to sort of move into the consulting world, where I was just amazed with the number of opportunities I got and varied clients, right? We move from one client to another.
Yeah.
And the consulting world is just exceptionally amazing because you get to solve problems, right? You're not
Mhm.
restricted to just one product. You are basically opening up doors to understand various problems of clients.
Yeah.
So I think that was it. And then, I was just so passionate about this field that I started writing, right? And there my writing sort of, career started. Like, I sort of contributed to several thought leaderships. And the recent one being, which was published in the UK on the 4th of February, Future Ready Payments. So yeah, that's been my career journey so far.
What a great journey. And I love that you got this chance discussion with someone in India who just mentioned about consulting as a potential career path, and how that took you then into a new direction, which has really clearly worked out for you. Karishma, you won this year's Women in Payments Rising Star in Award in EMEA. How do you think that recognition helped to empower you, or could help to empower an individual to build a successful career?
First of all, I think, I'm still sort of, sinking in the feeling that I won it. I have the award. So yeah, so thank you very much for the honor. But in terms of recognition, like I said, recognition is very important at every stage of your career, especially for people who are just starting their careers. And when someone, for example, has just sort of completed, let's say, engineering, come out of school, they don't know what they are good at. They are still exploring, right? And in their journey of work, they keep doing a lot of good work, right? Now, that good work, when it gets recognized at the right time by the right pool of people, gives the correct exposure to the person, right? And recognition given at the right time by the right network, it empowers that individual, multifold, because then that person is certain that whatever I am doing, right, I am on the right track, right? It is simply sort of confirming to your own self that you have found your purpose. And I think I also believe in one thing, that having a purpose in life is very important. And the sooner you find it, the sooner you understand and recognize your purpose, the more better you are in whatever field you are in. So recognition empowers multifold to people. Absolutely. I believe in that.
I love that. I love how you tied in exposure to leading to empowerment, and that empowerment builds confidence to build out your career in perhaps new ways, and move on to newer and better things. So from your own perspective, how has recognition helped you to evolve as a person?
I think, I remember the day when I actually sort of, I always thought like payments as a network is very close knit, right? And I follow some really amazing, inspiring women leaders in this field, including yourself, Christy. And I feel that, you know, recognition like this that has come to me at this point of my career has helped me simply, you know, create a much more meaningful network of professionals who I can have access to and who can have access to me too. And, you know, there we create a zone where we can come brainstorm ideas and create value, right? It's about learning, it's about developing, it's about growing, right? So to me, this recognition has brought a lot of good people who I'm in touch with now, and we've had some amazing conversations. And I think this is what you need, right? So you know, recognition like these essentially sort of gives you that confidence, like you said, but equally for the industry to sort of understand, yes, this person has delivered what it takes to be in the industry, right? And let's sort of, you know, come together, you know, build a more meaningful community. I think it's about community also, and like share.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. And I love the community aspect, of course, but building those connections and supporting the network and actually finding your voice and being recognized as a leader and a strong contributor and a thought leader is a key part of that. That's fantastic. So I want to turn and talk a little bit now about mentorship. And you perhaps have had mentors along the way in your career. Can you talk about how important it is for a budding professional like you, Karishma, to get the right mentorship at the right time in your career?
I think mentorship is very, very important. And it works two ways. I believe in that. You know, the first way is for you to understand and recognize that uh, you have a set of things to achieve in your life, but maybe you need that one person to help you guide your thoughts. Because sometimes when you are a budding professional, your thoughts can just waver into like various directions. Now, if I have to give my example, right, I am in a very dynamic industry. Like consulting is a very dynamic industry, right? And it is really difficult for you to sort of become a specialist in one area, right? Especially, you know, with time like today, we are more about we are more about, you know, how much you can offer in what basically generalists, right? So in the world of generalists and the time of generalists, it is very difficult for you to become a specialist in a certain area, right? So how can you do that? So if you are certain that you want to sort of become a specialist in a certain area, you have to start looking at people in the similar journey that you aspire to have, and sort of have those conversations. So the first step for me is for me to realize and recognize, yes, I need that guidance. The second step is the mentor, the role of mentorship. Now, that is absolutely crucial. And I think the relationship that a mentee has with a mentor is very, very crucial. And it is also equally, it's a huge responsibility for a mentor, because a mentor is a leader in the industry already, right? And how can they sort of, you know, transfer that knowledge, help and guide that individual to make the best use of their strength, right? Now, everyone has their weaknesses, everyone has their strengths, but I feel, you know, let's not focus on weaknesses, let's focus on strengths, right? So a mentor is basically that person, or rather a sounding board, that will listen to everything that you want to say, but will then have the ability to bring you back and draw your attention to your strengths, so that you focus on your strengths, and then helps you leverage his or her network, right, to get onto the career path that you desire to have, right? I can't hear you, Christy. You're on mute. Yeah.
So that's another really interesting point you bring up, Karishma, is how mentorship then dovetails in with this concept. One of my favorite hot buttons is networking.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about how you see those dovetailing and working together?
Absolutely. So I have had the privilege to have a few mentors, not just one, but a few mentors, right? Uh, and what I have achieved from them so far is that they have exposed me to their wide network, their wide professional network, wherein the right people know me of what I do and what I intend to do, right? So if tomorrow I speak to if I just like want to have a one-to-one conversation on a certain topic, right? Maybe my mentor is not an expert in that topic, right? But they very well know who they can connect me to. So basically, I'm not wasting time in just reading up articles, and doing my own research, which is great at times. But sometimes when you get the right advice and connect with the right people, right, you just kind of build up really, really fast. So I think having access to that network is very important. And what I have seen in my journey so far on LinkedIn also, like, professional uh, social media channels like LinkedIn, right? Uh, you can be connected to the whole world, but it is also important what meaning does that network hold on to you, right? That has to offer something. So I think mentorship helps you in that, like, sort of having that niche, focused, connection with people who can bring some difference to your life, and likewise, you can probably add something, some value to them as well.
Yeah, indeed. Yes, this network is really, in my mind, very, very important in building a career. Have you had any opportunities um, finding networking opportunities like with an established association like Women in Payments that has helped you in your career, or do you have any advice in terms of building out your career network?
I think what I generally have a tendency when I'm working in, I sort of, I read up a lot, and like I said, you can be doing a lot of amazing work in one corner, right? But if you are pulled out from that corner and given a stage, right, where the people who can make a difference to you see you, right, that adds a lot of value. So then I start looking at, for example, conferences or, associations like Women in Payments, right? uh, when I come across something like this, I start immediately, like, speaking with my mentor to understand what can we do, right? What can we do to sort of leverage this network, right?
Right.
So I think it's about that, leveraging and understanding what importance does this association have, right? And it can't be just one way. It can't be just like, what can women in payments do for me? But it's the other way also. What can I do for them, right? Like I said to somebody, women in payments is a pool of amazing women leaders. Okay, a network that should be leveraged. Okay, and we want more and more women to sort of feel confident and have passion for this field, that they can have a career, right?
Yeah, I love that. The building that global community of women around the world of payments, if you will, and it's a great opportunity for us to help each other to build our careers and build confidence and learn from each other. Karishma, you won this year's Women in Payments Rising Star Award in EMEA. If you were to give your younger self some career advice, what would that be?
I think I would give two advices, actually, not one. One is don't settle, right? And by that, what I really mean is, no matter how big or small your dream is, right? You need to believe in those dreams, okay? And just keep chasing them, right? You will find opportunities, but the sooner you recognize those opportunities is better. And the second is, surround yourself with people who inspire you, right? Because then you are opening up doors to have conversations that you want to be part of, conversations you want to listen to, right? So that again brings back your focus in what kind of career or what kind of person you want to become, right? So I think these are the two advices that I would give to my 30-year self, which I believe, like, I'm still there yet. but but yeah, like don't settle, dream high, dream big.
I love that, dream big. And it's so true. I've heard that other places in perhaps different words, but we do need to follow our dreams, and we only have one opportunity on this earth to do that. So if we don't do it, it's a missed opportunity for our own selves, but for all the people who might benefit from all the fantastic things that we can do in our careers and in our personal lives, in our families, in our communities. Karishma, this has been a really insightful discussion on mentorship, the power of recognition, and career advice for the rising stars in our audience. Thank you so much for sharing this. I love your comments on mentors and how they can connect us with their networks, give us some guidance, and be a great sounding board, and how recognition can help us to build our confidence and really empower us to achieve bigger and better things. And your career advice is second to none. Thank you so much for participating.
Thank you very much, Christy. It was amazing to be here, and I want to be connected to you.
Well, thank you for your support. I'm delighted to have you, and congratulations again on your award. And thanks to everybody in the audience for joining us for this discussion today. And I'm going to remind everybody that there are many other Pause for Payments discussions with amazing women from around the world of payments, like Karishma. So thanks, everybody, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you very much. Bye.